afternoon, my name is Alena Shautsova. I'm an immigration attorney from Brooklyn, New York. In today's video, I would like to provide you some updates regarding public charge, regarding recent immigration news, and President Trump's executive orders. So first of all, let's resolve the confusion about the public charge. According to USCIS and American Immigration Lawyers Association, the public charge rule implemented on February 24th, 2020 is stopped nationwide. It means that if you're filing for adjustment of status or change of status on or after July 29, 2020, you do not need to provide Form I-944. You do not need to answer questions about public charge on the Form I-45, I-539, and I-129, and you do not have to provide supporting documents. Also, if your application for adjustment of status is being decided during the time when the public charge rule stopped, but you filed it previously, USCIS is not going to take those forms and that information that you provided into consideration. Moreover, the benefits that you're receiving now, or we're thinking about filing for now, public benefits, will not be taken into consideration as such for the purposes of adjustment of status. So this all are good news. Now, I received many questions about unemployment. Now we're going to the topic of the recent executive order of President Trump that stated that unemployment benefits, that federal boost of unemployment benefits, is going to be extended to some degree, right? I believe it's $300 from the federal budget. Is an employment benefit is going to be taken into consideration for the purposes of public charge? Well, unemployment benefits that you, if you qualify for them, would receive actually is not public charge, okay? Unemployment benefits are provided to people as insurance, right? There is an unemployment insurance, and it's actually coming from that unemployment insurance fund, but that federal boost is not a public benefit. At least in my view, in view of many practitioners, it's not a public benefit that is going to be taken into consideration for the purposes of public charge, even if at some point the public charge rule is going to again become effective during the pendency of your immigration case. Okay, and yes, I believe yesterday, August 8th, President Trump signed an executive order extending the unemployment benefit on federal levels, that unemployment benefit boost that you may be aware of, that regular unemployment is provided by the state, and there was a federal boost that was provided by the federal government. Now, about the unemployment, the only point that I want to make here, I'm not an unemployment attorney, but it may be relevant for those who are immigrants in the United States. Make sure you qualify for it, okay? Because what happens is that I encountered some cases where people file for unemployment based on an advice of their friends, and they were not qualified for it. Because however strangely it sounds, not every immigrant will qualify for the unemployment benefits. You actually have to have a legal employment authorization, okay, an authorization to work in the United States to get the unemployment benefits, even if you were paying taxes, okay, even if your employer somehow you were receiving the paycheck. It's a whole different topic, because if you don't have an employment authorization legally, you cannot get legally employed in the United States. But if somehow you were receiving a paycheck, a W-2 form, but you don't have a valid employment authorization, you will not qualify for unemployment benefits, right? Unemployment benefits are tied up to the legal ability to work in the United States. It's very, very important. And of course, the latest updates, so-called, that we have about the proclamations, President Trump's proclamations. You should be aware. I received tons of questions about if there are any updates regarding the relatives of the US citizens, like parents, siblings. Well, currently we're all waiting for the court to decide whether or not those proclamations will be stopped during the pendency of the lawsuit. Okay, so you have to follow the news and you have to know if the decision is going to come. If the decision is going to come, however, be prepared that it most likely, if it's a positive decision, it will be appealed. If probably going to be appealed if it's a negative decision. What happened is that there is a lawsuit with a preliminary injunction filed to stop the active implementation of the President Trump's proclamations prohibiting entry of certain immigrants and non-immigrants to the United States. And if that preliminary injunction is granted, then the active implementation of those proclamations is most likely will be stopped. Okay, but then of course there is a higher court of appeals, federal court of appeals, that's going to decide the appeal, and perhaps the issue even is going to reach the United States Supreme Court at some point. So basically you need to follow that litigation news and see what's going to happen. And if there will be a stop, then your family members will have to contact consulates and request accommodations for the interviews to be scheduled. Okay, so that's what we know right now. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like. Ask your questions. I'm always happy to answer them, as long as they don't call for very specific case-related information, because unfortunately, of course, on a public channel like YouTube, I will not be able to provide a confidential consultation based on those couple of lines of questions that you guys ask me. But general questions, I always am happy to answer. Thank you very much.